welcome. We're so happy to be here with you all. Thanks for coming and joining us, Jen, at the last minute. Very, very cooperative ladies, and Jody, both of them, and Jeannine, 3 J's. So at the last minute, I asked them if they wouldn't mind participating in doing this demonstration for you ladies at All Souls. So enjoy it with us and practice and do what feels right for you. Jen says she hasn't practiced for a long time, and she's had not as much experience maybe as Jody. So if you're wanting to do beginner type or initial type of postures and get into modifications, follow Jen. She'll be demonstrating that. And then Jody will be doing intermediate, and we're just going to have it casual, and anytime you guys have anything to say or add to the conversation, please do. So, okay, we're just going to take a few moments and everyone get into their most comfortable seated position. This is Virasana. If you'd rather Sukhasana, it is a comfortable seated with your legs crossed position. The most important thing to check is that your spine is in one straight line from the side. So if you just envision stacking those shoulders over the hips, the crown reaching up toward the sky, and taking a few moments to listen to your breath. Without adjusting initially your breathing pattern, just allow yourself freedom to become present on the mat. Feeling grounded in the earth and lengthening up toward the sky, the top of your head. Just giving yourself these first few moments to allow for all of your thoughts and emotions and even physical movement to settle down and work in toward focusing on the breath. Making that the only thing you're working on at this time. And we're going to practice the pranayama Ujjayi breathing style, and that is one where you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, but the breath moves up and down through the throat. So in practicing initially, if you do it with your mouth open, imagine you're working on fogging up a mirror or just creating that sound of wind. And with the exhalation being the predominant one we do this with, you can allow your inhalation to just be your regular inhalation. But eventually working toward, if you've been practicing that for a while, doing the same thing on the inhale. Great practice to begin your yoga with a focus on the breath. This is where you can set your intention, maybe for this practice. Or you can have a scripture you're contemplating, or even a personal prayer, something that's been a burden on your heart. Taking this time to just release it, bringing your hands in prayer at your heart, reminding us that we gather all of the issues of our heart, and in this holistic practice, we seek to really find life and healing in all areas. Envision the breath that keeps us alive, keeps our mind going, our spirit alive within us. Allow that breath to reach all the way into the deepest places within you. Learning to be still in this moment. With all of the variety of things that can stress us out. Whatever season you're going through, whatever state of mind or physical fitness state, this practice is meant to benefit you. So allow it to do just that. All you're asked to do is remain focused on your breath as you move through the postures you choose to practice with us. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and just bring your hands to your knees. Allow the tension in your neck and shoulders to be released. Maybe just bring your right ear down to the right shoulder and work into that left side of your neck. With your breath naturally flowing continuously in that Ujjayi style, you'll find a deepened relaxation with every exhalation. Coming through the center, lengthen up. Every time we come through the middle, practicing that straight, strong posture. And allowing your left ear now to move down toward the left shoulder. Remain there as long as you need. With each breath, softening through that side, lengthening. Coming back to the center, go ahead and bring your chin down towards your chest. Broadening through your shoulders. Bringing the right ear over, tilting the head, allowing the neck to soften. And just doing a half circle, come back through the middle and reach over to the left. Going in the same speed of your breath, go ahead and transition from one side to the other. Preferably lengthening the exhalation and doing all that you can to stretch out that inhalation. So you be your own personal guide as to how deep you move. And coming back through the center, allow yourself maybe this time as you bring your ear down to tilt your chin up a little bit and see if that doesn't engage a part of you that might feel a little tense. And with the breath, bring the chin down, still keeping that right ear down toward the shoulder. Inhale, come back through the center and allow your left ear to come down. And chin can move up toward the sky or down toward the shoulder. Lengthening and experiencing openness, broadening, opening. Coming back into center. Go ahead and let's roll through our shoulders a little bit. Whatever naturally you are feeling at this time, and it can be an organic process. You might want to just experiment here and there. Let's switch directions and do, one shoulder at a time, or rounding a little bit bigger with your torso involved. Just getting into those shoulders. Good. Deepening that a little bit, place your hands in the front of the knees and round your spine. Rounding, 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 lengthening, expanding. Inhale, reach up. Hands come behind you, open up the chest, chin reaches up, enjoy. Inhale, up tall, and round forward. So we're doing a little bit of cat-cow right on the ground. Inhale, reach tall, and open. Back through the center and round. Good, let's do a side stretch here, reaching the right arm up first, so lengthening all the way up your side, and then walking your left hand out. You can prop yourself right here, or even come down to your elbow, whatever feels good to you, and reach into that side stretch. Feel it all the way from the hip, and press that right hip down to increase that stretch. So you might want to pull that elbow back a little bit, looking up. And then maybe you want to drive forward, reaching toward the front of the mat, and then bring it all the way back again. Very good. Coming back through the center. Inhale, tall, and we'll transition to the other side. So left hand reaches up and over. So press that left hip into the ground and just feel that little subtle movement, how much of a difference it makes. If your right hand is walked out, you can bring your elbow down. And then here you're bringing your left elbow behind your ear, and then experiment reaching your hand out in front. And on occasion, you might feel inspired to just kind of let out a sigh. And especially if you're in your own room, in your own comfortable space, just allow those natural breaths to come out. Come back up to your seated position, and we'll go into a twist. So left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. Right hand props you behind you to lengthen up with your spine first. Then slowly begin the twist from the lowest part of the back. And slowly move all the way in as deep as you can. Coming back up, straight spine, inhale. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Grab a hold of the outside of the knee. Lengthen up and twist. Back up through the center. Let's just walk our hands out in front of us and feel a good forward fold here. Just remember, it doesn't matter how deep or low or far you come into each pose. It just matters that you feel benefits occurring in each posture. So broaden that upper back and feel a lengthening take place. And since our theme a little bit today is just let go of any unnecessary stress that we carry with us, lightening the load, almost decluttering our inner world and decluttering the stress, hopefully, and tension in our physical world. Let's do it and just be aware of each posture and the benefits that we can find in each position for healing. Good. Coming all the way back up. Place your hands right in front of you and let's come up to our knees. So hands and knees, and we'll just move into cat-cow here, making sure that you can still see us and that we're right. Okay, so we'll round up the spine, reaching the center of the back up. Inhale when you're ready. And then reach the tailbone up, gaze moves up. Round back up. Really getting it on each angle and moving in as intensely as you can with your final exhalation. We'll do one more in each direction. So really give it all you've got. Explore going how far, how deep you can go. Good. And then now let's just sort of move our hips from the left into the right and just allow this organic movement to relax you, and you can kind of go in a circle and there's not a particular alignment. It's more you just getting into your own body and listening to what it might have as far as where your soreness might be. So moving up and down, and then just coming down into your child's pose, hands reaching out in front of you. And then rounding up, center of the spine extends up toward the sky and then come back down. So we'll go 3 times, back and forth there, beautiful. Moving once again with a breath. And this time, we'll just come a little further forward. So almost like you're going to go into cobra, and we'll go back. So round back. And then round the spine up. Bring the hips down. Hips move back, over the heels, child's pose. Round up the spine. Hips come toward the floor. Good. So find your spine moving in and through this wave. Each time, chin reaches higher, warming it up. And we'll add another movement here in a moment. So it's going to be from the knees, a chaturanga. So from here, we're going to roll up the same way, come into a little chaturanga, which is just like a little push up from the knees, and then roll back. Let's repeat that 2 more times. Round up when you get here from the knees, chaturanga, like a little push up. It's actually called knees, chest, chin. So from here, round up, and then go right into cow. Bring the chest down, the chin down, and up. Good job, you guys. One more time. Round up. And back. Good. Hold it, breathe, enjoy that breath. Broaden through the upper back, really releasing any tension through your spine, through that upper back. So feel like you're almost wrapping your shoulders or your armpits in towards your, with your shoulders into your armpits. Jody and I learned that together.
That's right, shoulders and the armpits.
So it's sort of expanding here and broadening, and that should get into that space where we often hold tension. And just breathe it out. Placing that breath right into those spots. When you're ready, slowly begin to round back up and bring your toes to the ground, pressing up into your first downward dog of the day. It's an inverted V position, evenly carrying the weight of your body from front to back. So from the side, you really just look like a V. Enjoying a little bit what that feels like. Walking your hands in towards your feet. Grab your elbows and dangle forward. Your feet can be about hip width distance apart. And allow vertebrae to vertebrae to vertebrae just to have space, one between the other. So here the feeling is gravity is drawing our upper body in toward the center of the earth. The weight of our body can transition into the balls of the feet. And just notice, be attentive to how little shifts can make an impact on where you feel your release or your stretch. Make sure you're not holding any tension in your neck. You can shake it, yes, left, right, or up, down. And this should be very relaxing to you. So just engage it and enjoy. Slowly releasing your hands, vertebrae by vertebrae. Allow your spine to come all the way up. Finally giving yourself a good shoulder roll, releasing any tension that you might have there. So we'll step to the back of the mat so that you can get a better view. And we'll practice mountain pose to begin with. This is one of our first foundational postures. Deceivingly, it looks easy, but it really takes focus and work. So from here, let's begin from the foundation. Thinking about the feet. You can be at a comfortable stance here. It doesn't have to be exactly together, but not further than hip width distance. And when you picture your feet, maybe open up your toes for just a moment and allow yourself to feel the four corners of the foot without the toes. So it's the front of the balls of the feet and the back of the heels. And maintaining the arch, because that's a really beautiful mirror to other parts of our body, and we want to keep that. We want to make sure we're not flattening it out. Embrace right here that foundation that will draw, the energy will come up through your legs so your quadriceps are engaged, your tailbone is pointed down, your spine is straight, and your shoulders are In line. You girls look great. Perfect. So right down by your side, and the center of your crown is reaching up toward the sky. So holding this and keeping the energy flowing really requires a lot of focus, because we're wanting to make sure that not one side of our body is carrying the weight more than the other. So we really balance that way. And then we also balance from front to back. So we're evenly distributing the weight. We're also practicing breathing in this perfect posture. When you do that, and that alone, we've talked about the reward of that when you're complete with your practice, is that you have cleansed and re-energized your entire body just with breath. So enjoy holding it, maintaining it. Let's do it for 2 more breaths. Very good. Bringing your hands into prayer. Let's take a moment and reach our hands up toward the sky. So first, reaching up, we're going to clasp our left wrist with our right hand and extend over toward the left. So we're first reaching up and away, pressing that left heel into the floor and extending all the way up through your side. And then you're reaching into a side stretch as far as you are comfortable. Inhale, come back to the center. Reach the other arm over. So first it's up and then it's over. Beautiful job. Slowly coming back up. You can reach into an upward salute, which may be back a little bit, and then we'll go into forward fold. Good. Breathe here. Enjoy the lengthening again of your spine. Inhale here. Lengthen the spine. Come up to your fingertips. And we're going to walk our hands to the front. Not all the way to the front, but we'll go into downward dog first, should we? So in downward dog, once again, using that core to draw it in and keep us light. And then from here, we can go into plank, which we can do from our knees or our toes. And then we can go into chaturanga, which is a low plank. From here, you can go into upward dog, which is fine to have your legs on the ground or the top of your feet on the floor. Roll through the toes, downward dog. Excellent. Broadening here of the upper back. When you're ready, let's step our right foot right by our right toe. Right by our right thumb.
We follow it. We're there.
We're there. Good. Okay, and then we'll leave our foot right there, and let's just dip into this wonderful runner's lunge. Hold, and eventually your gaze moves up here because that increases that stretch. So if your gaze moves up, it forces a little deeper stretch in the legs. And then we step that right foot back, go back into downward dog. We'll go into plank and into low plank. And then right into upward dog. Roll through the toes, downward dog. When you're ready, step the left foot forward and hold in a lunge here. Pressing the hips more forward and gaze once again, move up. Stepping the left foot back, downward dog. So here you can walk or hop your feet forward and forward fold. Arms come out to the side, reach all the way up and back. Hands to prayer. Good. Pausing here for a moment. Let me make sure we got us in this. We don't really, do we?
You're in there.
You're in there. Okay.
And when we go back, they'll see the rest of us.
That's good. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Oh my gosh, I kind of. It's okay.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so hands in prayer. Let's inhale, arms reach up. For a variation on our salutation, reach back and then reach up and extend right into chair or Utkatasana or upward pose. Your goal here is to really work on waking up those thighs, keeping the arms energized, and then forward fold. So before we go any further, let's go back up to Utkatasana and breathe and down, Uttanasana. And slowly, almost like that breath is going to move us. Let your body move back and forth. One more time. Beautiful, ladies. And forward fold. Really practicing drawing in the chest. Gaze your drishti, which is where your eyes go, is up toward the belly button. Lengthen the spine, come up to your fingertips. And because of space, you can either walk or hop your feet back. Come into plank, go to chaturanga, and upward dog. Downward dog. Enjoy broadening the upper back. Center your left foot here. Reach the right foot up toward the sky. Your hips can be square. And enjoy bending that knee. Go ahead and step it all the way forward between your hands. And let's bring that left heel down, preparing for warrior one. Good job. Holding it here. Breathe. Making sure that your hands are in one line from the side, so one hand is not reaching out further than the other. And then reach them up toward the sky and come a little deeper if you'd like. Good, enjoy and breathe here. And then come up slightly and open up into warrior two. Hands, fingertips reaching away from each other and keeping that left leg straight, bend the right. Making sure here that you're not sticking your tailbone out, but you're tucking it. You're not reaching forward or back, you're right at the center. And then your right hand can reach up and your left arm down, extending through your side waist. And then all the way down. Right hand can come to the floor. Left hand reaches up and over towards your ear. If you would like to bind, you can reach your left arm up, your right arm beneath. You don't have to, Jen. This is one of those. You got it. Gosh. So Jen is more than a beginner, okay? Left arm up. Come back to warrior two. And then lengthen the left and the right leg. And begin to move into triangle. Right arm reaches forward and comes down. You can place it on your shin, on the ground, and your left hand extends up toward the sky. From here, we'll bring that left hand down and step that left foot up a little bit so that our feet are more directly in front of one another. From here, we'll lengthen the spine and we're gonna come into a forward fold on our side. You have the option, if you'd like to, bring your arms behind you and grab a hold of your elbows to open up the chest at the same time. Breathe into it. This requires balance. It challenges so many aspects. So linger, breathe. Working those hips into one straight line from the side. So imagine yourself bringing the left hip forward and relaxing the right hip back. Beautiful. From here, release your arms and let's place the left hand, and Jen, as a beginner, you would just place it right on the inside. And if you want to make it a little more advanced, you can place it on the outside of your foot. And then you can slowly rotate. Begin by maybe just placing your hands on your hip. And then from here, slowly reaching your arm up. Eventually, when you feel stable and secure, your gaze can move up as well. Coming down for a moment, we're going to leave our legs like that. We're going to go into reverse half moon pose. So basically, you're just going to step your left leg straight out behind you and your hand on your fingers behind, and then we'll reach our right arm up. So this is a challenging advanced pose. I'll take it from here so you can see a little better. So you might wobble in and out of it, and that's okay. That's actually part of the practice, right? We're not performing here, we're practicing. And so if you picture yourself in a straight line, and you reach your right arm up. And you can hold for as many breaths as you'd like, and then slowly come back down. Very good. Coming all the way down, come into a forward fold for a moment. And then reach your arms out to the side and come all the way up to standing. Reach up and lean back. Hands to prayer, come back through the center, just to kind of re-engage in the next one. Inhale, reach up, back. All the while focusing on, let's go to chair again. And here, if you like movement, you can hold it still, or you can do opening and closing of almost like what we did in cat-cow. So you have a back bend into a rounding. And we do this with even a little bit of humor because we look a little silly. And forward fold. And just enjoy. So it's okay if you feel a little awkward, actually. Some of these poses are awkward. And just getting what you can out of them, whatever benefits you can. Very good. Let's go ahead and step our feet back. And we'll come into plank. Then into chaturanga. Right into upward dog. Roll through the toes, downward dog. Beautiful. Reach those heels in toward the ground. When you're ready, step the left foot. You can center your right foot and then step the left foot back. Sorry, a little tight. So keeping the shoulders square and the hips square. Bend the left leg and go ahead and step it all the way forward, right between your hands. Beautiful. Bring your right heel down and let's go into warrior one. So fingers move straight out in front of you and your left leg folds, bending, making sure your knee is not more forward than your toes. So if you find yourself, your knee going too far, that's putting too much pressure on your knee, make sure you step it back, adjust, and re-engage. Arms reach up toward the sky. Dominoes in the whole time, just feeling that energy, keeping your center, your core tight. Working the core as we practice every posture here. And then when you're ready, opening up to warrior two. So you can come up a little bit, and it is a shift in the pelvis, so we want to make sure we are aware that our hips are getting stretched from a different angle. So just listen to your body and ease into this posture. Breathing, enjoying. This is a challenging one where it really works on strengthening your legs. Invites us to be fully present here. Right arm comes down and left arm reaches up, extending from the side waist and then reaching all the way over your left ear. Beautiful breathing. When you're ready, come up. And a modification for this would be bring your left elbow and stay right there, reaching your right arm all the way up and over. Or you're welcome to come down into that left hand. Using it for stabilization, not so much for holding your weight. The more you open your heart up toward the sky and reach the chest open, you'll find a twist is incorporated right into that mix. From here, right arm reaches up, and if you're interested, you can go into your bind, grabbing a hold of your hands and reaching into that spot to breathe deeply, because this is now a challenging position. But as long as your focus is on your breath, maintain that relaxed sensation, you will be able to go from there. So inhale, release, and slowly coming out of that position in the same way, taking our time in and out. Holding for one last breath here. Excellent job straightening the legs. Good, ladies. Reach the left arm forward. The right hip can go out to the back. Reach down and up simultaneously. One fingertip extending in the opposite from the other. Bring your pelvis more forward and reach that right shoulder back. And breathe. Now, if your neck is sore here, you're welcome to gaze down toward the mat. Or if you're able to, you can go ahead and look straight up to the sky. From here, bringing that right hand down. And we'll go into that side stretch. So go ahead and step your foot, your right one, back up a little bit, and maybe your left one down. And lengthen the spine here. Working from the very beginning, your hips back into line. Lengthening through the spine, drawing the chest more forward. Forward fold. You're welcome to do another arm positioning here by maybe placing your hands into reverse prayer or grabbing hold of your shoulders, but it's not necessary. If you like, you're welcome to stay right where you're at. Going in as deep as you can to feel that hamstring get the stretch that it needs and desires. Slowly, when you're ready, release your hands, lengthen your spine, and if you're a beginner, remain with your hand on the inside of your left foot, or if you'd like to, bring it to the outside, and it just challenges the balance a little bit. Slowly begin to rotate, always extending through the spine on the inhalation, and then when you're ready, reaching that left arm up. And use the breath to quiet your body. It's a very challenging twist, 180 from the triangle pose. So allow yourself to ease into it and have grace as you explore it. Slowly bringing that hand back to the ground, preparing for reverse half moon pose. So from here, we'll keep that, and you know, if you were behind here, you just step it forward a little bit and reach that right leg straight out behind you. So the right leg is up, the left arm, good job, Jody. And picturing that straight line, and you know, a modified version might even just be keeping your foot on the ground and reaching up, if that feels good. Or if it feels better, reach both hands down and just extend your leg up to feel that. Definitely a challenging balance posture. It requires full focus and attention, so and when you're ready, slowly come down, bring the leg down, and enjoy forward fold. Arms out to the side, come all the way up to standing. Reach up, gaze moves up, upward salute. Palms together. Good, breathe. Beautiful job, you guys. We're going to transition now and do a little bit of, sorry, I'm gonna take a little break here. So I'll edit this. Okay, I think we'll do from here, we'll do some, maybe let me pause it. I think I'm distracted with Ruben. I'm just, okay, yeah, everybody. Okay, so we are coming out of, where we were. And so let's just go there. So standing up, and we'll open up the hips a little bit by going into a garland pose, which is like a squat. So hands or feet out to hip width distance, and then just bend your knees a little bit and come into a good squat position. If you're not too comfortable with your feet here, I'll make sure I'm coming flat. That's okay. Just allow them to come up a little bit. Your heels can be up, working toward the flat feet. That's the goal. And just bringing your hands into prayer at your center. So holding and breathing here, we'll just naturally open up our hips. So many parts of the world, they sit like this and just kind of are comfortable in this position. And it is a comfortable position. It helps, it aids in so many different, it aids digestive system for sure, and baby delivery, which each of these ladies were mothers. Having delivered their baby. Did you deliver also in this position? No. Did you? No.
No.
Oh, man. Did you? No.
Okay.
In a tub, I did. But you're, yeah. So, easing in. And it can be a challenging pose in many ways. So if you're up on your toes and the balls of your feet, that's okay. And if you are back, then slowly move into the balls of your feet. From here, we're going to practice a crow position. So placing your hands on the mat. Go ahead and make sure that your fingers are just evenly distributed open. Your weight is going to be on both the front and the back of the hands, okay? So from here, we'll round up a little bit, bringing the hips up slightly and easing forward. So from the side, you would imagine your knees moving right on toward the space above your elbows. You can hold it right there and bring one foot off the floor at a time. Or maybe you might be one of those just naturals where you bring your feet right up. Or you might struggle with it, so just be patient. It usually takes a while. And enjoy, really, just playing around with it. No stress involved here, just fun. And coming down. If you are such that you'd like to, some of you explore going from crow, okay, into your headstand, then you're welcome to Bring your head down and just slowly bring your feet up toward the sky. And this is a tripod headstand, so you just take your time and then you come back. Your knees come back to your elbows and you press back up into crow. So from crow, then you would transition right into chaturanga. So it's a little hop and up. So we go back into downward dog. And that's a fun thing to work toward. It takes a long time, so just be patient with yourself. And allow the weight of your body here to move a little bit back and then a little forward. And let's come down to our knees here. From here, you can go ahead and open up your heels if your knees do not have any injuries and go into hero's pose. So from hero's pose, I'll come, if we want to step forward a little bit because we'll go back, but you can just feel the opening take place in your knees. If you do have knee issues, then come up a little bit higher and just allow that stretch to work its way into your knees from there. If you have the space and you desire to move further back, you're welcome to slowly bring the elbows down. So those of you with knee issues, you can do what we're doing with our upper body with your legs straight out in front of you, like in fish pose. That's what this is called. And so Jody's going to demonstrate, and just basically with your feet out in front, elbows in the ground, heart reaches up toward the sky, and gaze moves to the back wall. Feel what's happening there in the shoulders. If you want to, you can bring the crown and adjust so that the crown is on the floor. Bringing the arms down a little bit. You're welcome to go all the way flat on the ground and bring your hands up over your head with your elbows being held by your hands. Lengthening through your torso all the way down to your tailbone, and then slowly bringing those elbows down toward the ground, pressing them into the floor and coming up to a seated position. Good. So from here, we're going to go into Ustrasana, which is camel pose. And I'll do it from the side so you might see a little bit better here. But go ahead and start in a tall camel pose. So your hips are leaning forward a little bit. Your hands are almost like tucking them into the back pocket of your jeans. And your chest is opening, your elbows are moving back, okay? From there, you just begin to open up the chest and move the gaze back. Breathing and holding here. You're welcome to stay there or to come down to your hands on your heels. Thumbs on the outside, fingers on the inside, pressing the hips more forward, opening up the front of the body. From here, you're welcome to stay there or place your hands in the chest. Your hands back. Slowly coming up, hands in prayer, all the way down. Very good. If you'd like to go into your child's pose, bring your hands down by your side and just enjoy rest and relaxation for a moment. You might have a little feeling of nausea or discomfort, and that's all part of this pose. It just really helps to detoxify, and when we get the toxins out to the surface, it can make you feel nauseous. So easy does it, and enjoy just this restful moment, letting all the tension go. Easing the space between the shoulders, easing through the neck, any tension, and just enjoy. Good. When you're ready, slowly coming back up. We'll go ahead and cross your feet behind you and bring them out to the front. If you can. So good. Let's go ahead and lengthen the legs all the way out, reaching the heels of the feet directly out from your hips so that you're energizing your entire leg, your quadriceps and your calves as you bring your heels further and the balls of your feet towards you. So from here, your perfect L shape. Your shoulders are back, you're in that straight posture, and your crown is reaching up toward the sky. We're going to reach forward, and you're welcome to grab a hold of your shins, your calves, your toes. And if you're reaching your toes, then you would lengthen your spine here and press the heels out even further. So it doesn't matter how far down you come, really. You might find it right there is where you go to. Otherwise, you work your way more forward, and you can transition a little and shift sometimes a little bit, that space through the thighs. And then inhale, lengthen the spine, reaching the crown toward your toes in that direction. So then you hold and breathe. Adjust your hands a little bit and just grab either your heels or whatever spot and ease in a little deeper and breathe. It's natural to feel as though you're holding your breath in intense stretches, but just do what you can to let go of that tension and ease into your pose or your posture rather than forcing it. When you're ready, slowly come up. We'll move into our pigeon pose. So bringing the left knee forward first. Just make sure we can see here. I'll do this from this angle. So yes, left knee first. And from here, initially, we can bring that left heel in toward the groin. Now, depending on where you're at, you may not be able to straighten your leg all the way out to the back. You might need to keep it bent, and that's fine too. So as you go transitioning, the hips need to move into that squared position. So if you can work initially on reaching in and getting those hips in line, might mean that you draw your left knee back a little bit. And then from here, you'll lengthen the spine. And then initially, we'll just open up and gaze moves up. Here we go right into a back bend. So if you do have the flexibility and you want to stretch that right leg directly out behind you, make sure that your heel is right behind your hip. And then move your arms almost down by your side and open up your chest, reaching the heart more forward. Feel the back bend. And then slowly coming into the forward fold expression of your pigeon. So if you have practiced for a longer period of time and want to adjust your leg, you're welcome to do that. And then you just come either down to your elbows or Bringing your hands together to support your forehead. And lean into it. So allowing gravity to draw you deeper and deeper into this pose. Sometimes it helps me, even with my breath, to slightly move. So an inhalation, I lengthen the spine, and then the exhalation, I soften and press in a little bit further. So here you're welcome to stay right there. If you like the forward fold and you feel like this is reaching right into that space that you need. Otherwise, you can slowly walk your hands up a little bit. If you want to work on an upward expression, we'll talk a little bit about how to do that. You can stay in the forward fold if you want. You'll probably get the most out of that. Unless you want to do this upward. You're welcome to too. Yeah, do it. So Jen has such a good attitude. She's like, I'll try.
It's practice, right?
That's right.
I'm just going to practice.
Yeah, exactly. So true. So if you have your ankle, you can just use this and draw maybe your foot in towards you a little bit. So first it's like a little bit of a quadricep stretch, right? And it may be that you're right here. You may be anywhere, but you just pull it in towards your hip. And you breathe and you stretch, creating space, expansiveness for you. And we're all in different spots in this journey, and wherever we're at, we just are grateful for the ability to twist and turn and reach into these different crevices of our body and hopefully energize it with freshly oxygenated blood flow. And then from here, if you want to just twist a little bit, you're welcome to switch sides and twist that way and feel a great twist. If that was a good, you can naturally hold it easily with your left hand. You're welcome to clasp your hands around your ankle and use this moment as an opportunity to draw you back a little bit with your foot. Open your chest more forward. Open up the shoulder. Good. Another variation would be bringing it right into the forearm. So if you tuck it into your forearm and you bring your arm down or back toward your shoulder, you can reach your left hand around and clasp your hands. So once you get to this spot where you're comfortable, your hips are squared, you're balanced, then you can reach in for that final expression, which I'll talk you through in case one or two of you are in that place. You would grab the outside of your foot so that your elbow can move up, and maybe I should just move forward. So yeah, it's a tough one, but it's worth it when you finally are able to kind of, even doing that, and then your elbow goes up, and neck moves up. So, enjoying wherever you're at. I just actually a few months ago grabbed that foot. So it still is sort of new for me, but it is amazing to watch what the body can do over time. When you're ready, let's step the right knee forward. And we'll take the same time and effort. So once again, you're welcome to bring that right heel right into the groin or out a little bit, and pressing your hips so that they're straightening out in one line. Common issues here are the back knee hurts, so maybe you're not flexible in that space yet to do that. There's too much pressure on the back knee. Just bend your leg a little bit. And starting out with a back bend here, open up the chest, allow your heart to move more forward. Bring your shoulders back, and that immediately puts your back into a deep back bend. Gaze moves up. And hold and breathe. Slowly coming down to your elbows or your hands down in front of you to be able to place the forehead right on your arms or your hands. And just enjoy there and picture a softening taking place, because it is a challenging pose and deep, deep stretch and requires a lot of focus. So just allow yourself to explore a little bit, maybe move and breathe and enjoy. The option of staying right in your forward fold, allow yourself the freedom to listen to what you might need today. If you want to work a little bit on the upward expression, come on up and begin by just bending that left leg, reaching around, grabbing it, allowing yourself to twist a little bit. Gaze moves back. And then doing the same thing from the other angle. Good. Feeling, if you've got that balance, go ahead and clasp your hands around your ankle. And use that opportunity to open up your chest further, and your gaze can move up. If you're ready, you can tuck it into your forearm, drawing that in a little bit closer, holding it right there. Next step would be reaching the arm up and back. From here, placing that right hand on the floor. You can stay in that, or you can work toward the next expression, which is grabbing a hold of the outside of your toes in such a way that your elbow can move up. And when you're ready, easy does it, coming out, moving into downward dog. Very, very well done. So pigeon was Jen's request, and then Jody requested just to work on and play with the side crow. So let's go ahead and, since we're all warmed up right now, walk your feet center a little bit and bend in the knees. So from here, for me, I'll come out to this side and let's just prepare our spine a little bit. We'll bring our left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And just enjoy right here, right there, extending. Your gaze can move up, feeling a deep twist. So usually we do finish up our practice with a good twist. So this could be it for you right here. If you want the opportunity to move into the side crow, you place your hands right on the ground, similar to crow. And for the modified version, you're welcome to lean your hip and your knees right onto your elbows, bringing the feet off the ground. From here, you can lengthen the legs and bring them back. So, good, Jody. Woo. You can also, it might be a little easier, some people think it is, to come without the hips on the knee and bring your legs up that way. So that's the side crow. So enjoy playing around with that. And then we'll just go into the same thing on the other side. So bringing the knees out, the opposite side. Enjoy a deep twist here. Hands in prayer. Lengthen the spine, so feel yourself almost growing taller. And then press through that right elbow into the left knee, creating space. It is a challenging balance pose all at the same time. And then from here, now you're prepared to just explore what it feels like. So if you want to start with your hips on your knees, or sorry, on your elbows, go ahead. And then you can lengthen your legs straight. Sorry, Jody. And then you can even step one out and find a balance spot there and come back. So then from here, it's usually back to chaturanga. You hop back to chaturanga. So, good, Jody. Good. Are you doing it with your hip on?
Yeah, my shirt is taking
Oh,
up
it's
against
hard with your
with material on.
Yes. Yeah. Good. Good. And always a block is good. You know, I mean, it's funny because the one thing you might do is hit your head on the ground. That's the only possible possible injury. Good job, you guys. Very good work. I think we're ready to go all the way down to the mat. So go ahead and extend your body so that as much of you is on the mat as can be here. And just open up your shoulders. Maybe place your feet on the floor for a moment. Maybe just even press your hips up a little bit if that feels good in your shoulders. And one more like that. And then release your entire upper body to the ground. Feet on the floor. Go ahead and begin to do like a windshield wiper a little bit here. Left and right. And then draw those knees in towards you. Clasp your hands around your knees, pressing the shoulders, the tailbone down and toward the ground, lengthening the spine. Very good. Go ahead and bring your feet back to the ground. One more bridge here, extending the hips up toward the sky. Go ahead and clasp your fingers beneath you. And then reach the arms all the way up over your head. And vertebrae by vertebrae, allow your spine to come back to the floor. Tailbone rest. Lengthening your legs straight out and your arms down by your side. I'm going to turn the lights down here and just a little bit, both of you, maybe put a blanket on you and give you the next 10 minutes to relax and ease in to this final posture. It also is a posture. In fact, maybe one of the most important ones where we completely rest. All the lessons we just learned or took in, we will absorb on a deeper level. So just observe what goes on when you do Focus on your breathing and let everything settle in. Imagine yourself here alone in space. We'll have to edit that out. And just, I'm going to leave you guys in this resting pose for a few minutes. So, oh, it smells so good. Take it easy. I will come down in just a few minutes. I'm going to put this over here. And then I'm just going to first just tug a little bit at your legs, just to kind of stretch out your spine. Just relax, and I'm just going to kind of and this is your time to completely let go. So easing every bit of tension. Scan your body and make sure that there's no tension remaining. And think of the muscles where you usually do carry it, and just place your breath right into that space and allow yourself to completely soften that area. So there's no place where you're holding on or gripping onto anything. Just allows for you, it's a reminder to completely let go. So in this final expression of it, I'm just going to adjust your shoulders if there's any, make sure that you're all the way in line, and then just allowing yourself the freedom to working from the outside in, the inside out, just picturing that wave of relaxation moving back and forth in that, establishing a deeply restful, restorative type of feeling. And I'm just going to put a little pressure. I'm just kind of forget that I'm here. I don't know why the music's not on, but in a way, allowing yourself to just absorb the gift of what you just did. All of that work, twisting and turning and pushing and pulling, establishing fresh oxygen throughout your body. Thinking about a deep sense of healing. And this is the time in final savasana, or final resting pose, where I remember that call to be still and rest in the Lord. And remember that He's sovereign. He knows, and He sees you, and He knows you. He loves you. And in the same way that our body wants to intentionally absorb the rest and the love that we just gave ourselves, imagine your soul being in that most absorbing place. Usually after we release the tension in our body, we're able to focus a little more inward. And it's not necessarily intentional work time here, diving deep into your soul matters, but really more so just being and embracing the gift of life, embracing that at the source of life Himself is love, joy, and peace. And as you're still and present in this place, He is present with you. He promises to never leave or forsake true to his word. He's always the same yesterday, today, and forever. So allowing those truths to deepen within us and to really be planted at the core of who we are. So if you imagine like we just did all this hard work and almost like we're working on the soil and preparing it to absorb a seed, and if that seed today is that love, he so wants us to absorb of him, his presence with us, his love for us. So allowing every part of yourself to let go of whatever it is that is hindering us, standing in the way of that peace that he so wants to give us. It might be disbelief, it might be so many things, maybe something that we're not even aware of consciously that is standing in the way. And so really being intentional to let his spirit come. Just